Hey yo, who's that? It's Jordan. Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to something a little bit different. Still aimed at you US viewers, but today we're reacting to the top 10 reasons why you should not move to Miami, Florida. Now, please, if you live in this area, do not be upset. This is not my opinion. You should be upset at the guy who made this fucking video, yeah? I'm just reacting to it because Miami to me is a place I would like to visit. You know, it looks really nice. Like I said, it's probably like one of them LA places, like I said in my previous video. On videos and movies, they show you the sick parts, but when you go there, you see the real life parts. You know what I mean? Anyway, another thing before we get into the video, we are really getting close to 1,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone for any YouTuber on this platform, or who is starting out to make videos on this platform. If you like the videos, content, the energy, the reactions, then there's only one thing an intellectual would do, and that is to hit that subscribe button. Anyway, less of the chat, let's get into this reaction.
Do you know which major city is the only one to be founded by a woman? Well, if you read the title of this video and guessed Miami,
People found cities. What the fuck? I thought that was the government's job.
you're right. Julia Tuttle, a local citrus grower, was the original owner of the land that the city was built on. But since its incorporation in 1896, Miami has grown from being just a small citrus farm to becoming the 7th largest metropolitan area in the country, with
A citrus farm? Really? An orange farm? Where Mandem used to get their fucking orange juice from back in the day is now the 7th biggest city.
population over 6.2 million
Motivation.
residents and 478,000 people living in the city limits. It's right here on a map, and while you still may find plenty of citrus fruits growing in the year-round sunshine of the tropical monsoon climate, you're more...
Wait, I think I might be wrong here, but there is somewhere in the world, I think it might be here, where orange fruits grow on the trees and you can eat them. It would make sense if it's here, because obviously the citrus farm thing, but knowing America, someone would take that whole tree and put it in their fucking backyard.
likely to find the makings of a bustling city. From skyscrapers to nightclubs to the most diverse cultural scene in the region, Miami has it all. I mean, it's one of the cheapest big cities, a major international and financial center, and has warm weather right next to the beach. But while it's a great place to
Why is it so
due to
cheap
the
though?
gorgeous surrounding nature, deliciously diverse cuisine, and jaw-droppingly beautiful people, it isn't perfect. So before you say goodbye to winters forever and head to the Magic City, these are my top 10 reasons not to move to Miami, Florida.
I know somebody who used to live in Miami, and I work with him now. And I can say right now that there is going to be gun violence on this list. Yeah.
Number 10. If you don't speak Spanish. Miami is one of the most diverse US cities, and a lot of this diversity comes from a variety of Latino people groups, which means most Miamians speak Spanish. In fact, it's many people's preferred language, with 77% of residents speaking Spanish at home. Needless to say,
Why would that
it's
stop
going to
me
be a
from
lot
moving
harder
there?
to make friends or to gain access to local events and food.
Yo habla español.
If you don't speak the language. Now sure, you don't necessarily need to know Spanish to live here. I mean, technically, you don't even need to know Spanish to live in Spain, but your experience will be extremely limited if you don't at least attempt to learn the language. Number 9. Hot and humid summers. While the dry,
That's
sunny
the
winter...
reason why I would move there. Because over here in England, it's mid-July, right? And it's just stopped raining. This is the first week of sun we've had in fucking months. Trust me.
Here with
It's
temperatures
shit.
usually in the 70s.
Don't come to the UK,
extremely
it's such a
pleasant.
lie.
Summers
So-
in
oh,
Miami
so shit.
are the exact
Hate it.
opposite, aka brutally hot. And if you don't pass out from
Nice.
heat exhaustion, you might just drown midair from the 100% humidity. It's not like Phoenix or LA where it gets cooler at night either. Most of southern Florida is a flat, humid marshland, which means you have to deal with relentless heat from May to November. Sure, the actual temperature rarely goes
to the
above the
beach.
mid-90s, but I'd much prefer prefer a dry heat of even 120 Fahrenheit in Arizona than 85 with humidity in Miami. It's that bad. And while you might think, oh, I'll just jump in the ocean to cool off, that won't do you much good, is even
Don't mock me, bro. Don't mock me, yeah? Just because I said that. Don't take the piss. You see this little bird down here?
even the ocean water temperature gets into the high 80s during summer.
Even better. Just swim out further. Yeah, there's some sharks out there, but just tell them you know me in it, and they'll leave you alone.
Number 8. Bugs. While most people hate extreme heat and humidity,
Yeah, I heard the
who
mosquitoes
loves
out
it?
here are mud.
Bugs. Now this one kind of
Yeah.
goes for most of Florida, but the warm tropical environment is a breeding ground for all sorts of nasty critters. Spray your home, yourself, and the air with bug repellent all you want, but nothing can keep the mosquitoes, spiders, ants, and 10 different species of cockroaches
Eat
at
garlic.
bay. And since there's no winter here, those mosquitoes are huge and will be sucking your blood year round. But giant mosquitoes are honestly the least of your concerns, as two of the deadliest spiders, the brown recluse and southern black widow, also...
Oh, a story about brown recluses. Oh my god, this was legit like Monday, so 5 days ago. I had a mark here on my neck, yeah, and it was a bite mark, but it didn't look like a standard little fly bite or anything. It looked like a spider bite, and I thought
is two of the
it
deadliest
was this
spiders, the brown
fucking
recluse...
bastard here. But I don't think we have these in the UK. I think we do, but they're rare. They look familiar though, but I think I get them confused with house spiders. But mate, I felt so dizzy, sick, weak. But it went away after like a few hours. So probably just had a cheeky female climb through my window, give me a little suck on the neck.
and southern black widow also call South Florida home, and if you so much as leave a plate with a single crumb on it in the sink, ants and palmetto bugs, aka
Now that would
flying
piss me off.
cockroaches, will magically appear out of thin air within a few hours. Oh, and aside from bugs, you also gotta worry about alligators, crocodiles, jellyfish, sharks, and over 50 species of snakes.
So
Number
basically
7,
a mini
awful
Australia.
drivers in traffic. Speaking of insects, if you're moving here, I hope you've got a
Why did he say insects like that? Insects. Insects, yeah? What, is that the new inbred? Insects. Come on, bro. Pronunciation.
cheap car, because your paint job will get ruined by love bugs. Oh wait, that's the rest of Florida. They're not actually in Miami, thank God. But I still hope you have a cheap car anyways, because it'll likely get totaled at some point while living here. Yep, I've been to pretty much every major city in this country, and Miami has by far the most obnoxious and worst drivers I have ever seen.
Yeah, I may as well
Literally
stay
nobody
clear from
uses
there then.
turn signals,
I'll
and
get
everyone's
vexed.
always trying to race each other through traffic with no regard for anyone's safety. Basically, multiple car accidents on every main road are inevitable every
Look at that car on the
day,
left.
since you've got all the locals who
onto
don't
him.
obey traffic laws, tourists who don't know the area or how to drive, unending construction and lane closures, and the 9th worst traffic of any U.S. city. It's no wonder Florida has
Yeah,
by
if I was to
far the
come
most
America,
people
yeah.
run over by cars. Now,
I
to
don't
be
know if I
fair,
could drive,
there is a free
because
metro rail and
I'd
metro
get too
mover
pissed
that
off
do
that I don't
cover
know
a
how
few
to drive
neighborhoods,
properly because
but
the
most parts of the
lanes,
city still have
the wrong
terrible
side,
infrastructure and public
the right
transportation
side,
options
the left
despite
side.
the endless
Ah.
construction, and Wynwood and Brickell are
Just
basically
drive down the
the
middle,
only
fuck it, why not?
real walkable areas. So most people still drive everywhere and are absolute a-holes about it.
I'd have to find me a nice female to drive me around, show me some hospitality, do you know what I mean?
Number 6. Parking. If you somehow get through all the traffic, construction, and terrible drivers unscathed, I hope you're still at least 20 minutes early, because you aren't going to find a parking spot within a few blocks of where you're going. Well, unless you're willing to pay $20 for a parking garage. And if you
Fuck's
do
sake.
somehow find a spot in the
20
city or
bucks.
Miami Beach that seems free, just remember it probably isn't.
Like
So make sure you check the
£15.
signs for zoning laws or a pay station. The towing companies here do not mess around.
So what if parking's expensive and impossible to find? I'll just live downtown so I get a free parking spot.
Well, you'll most likely still have to pay an extra $200 a month to park in a garage that's a 10-minute walk away from where you actually live. And if you're
Is this the case? Remind me to never come to Florida. If I go on a vacation / holiday, whatever you call it, in the UK to a hotel, yeah, and I have to pay for parking, or I have to park at a car park away from my hotel and then walk to the hotel. I ain't going there. No. If I'm paying to stay at your fucking hotel, yeah, I should get free parking with security in that car park. The property was built with a car park. Stop being a tight bastard and charging extra. Just let people park there.
If you're planning on
Bastards.
buying a house so that you can park there, make sure it has a driveway, because way too many homes here don't. Most people just use Uber and Lyft to get around. So I guess the real question
Lyft,
is,
what's
where do
that?
the Uber drivers park their cars? Number 5. The people. There are really only a few types of people in Miami. The party animals, self-proclaimed entrepreneurs, retirees, suburban families, and the tourists. And whether they're spring breakers, cruise ship goers, or entitled newbies who think they're way cooler than they actually are, most tourists here have one thing in common. They're obnoxious narcissists. You'd think
What?
being on vacation would make people nicer, but everyone seems to think Miami's their personal party zone and is just plain rude. Especially in March, when thousands of college students destroy the beaches and make traffic even
Oh,
worse.
okay, that's
But
the
it's
kind of
not
tourist
just
he's
the
on about.
tourists. Many Miami residents are obnoxious
thought it was about people like me.
narcissists too.
No,
if you
bro.
couldn't tell based on how they
I'm an
drive,
introvert.
just take a walk
I'll
around
literally
or talk
be on
to
a beach,
someone,
dig a
and
hole
you'll
and
see how
hide.
stuck up, entitled, and self-centered most of the people here are. Which is weird, because there's also this thing called Miami time, where being on time is considered early, and most people are super laid back about doing things
it's
on a
so
schedule.
busy.
Like, it makes sense that New Yorkers are standoffish, since they're seriously in a rush and don't have time to stop and talk. But Miamians are rarely in a hurry, as they almost always show up late anyways, so they don't even have an excuse for being rude. Number 4.
Miamians.
It's not a good place for
that-
kids. Sure,
that your name,
Miami
yeah?
does have family-friendly activities, including tons of parks, museums, and beautiful beaches, but this is still very much a party city at heart. And that party culture features lots of binge drinking, drug use, objectifying women, sexualized advertisements, plastic surgery ads everywhere, and a
If you know me, and have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I really, 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 really like me an American accent on a girl. I mean, I might have to come to Miami to party and leave that one for a later date.
huge club scene. Now, this can be great if you're in your 20s or just visiting, but if you're looking for a serious relationship or you're a family with kids, Miami is not the place for you. Education isn't exactly a priority either, as the public schooling system just isn't good. But maybe that's because more emphasis is put on looks and appearances here than actually learning and pursuing your goals.
Basically, the whole of the UK. Schools here in the UK are fucked. Anywhere you go, not just one city, the whole place. Everyone just wants to be either a trapper, a driller, or a model, or an OnlyFans model now, because that's what the kids are into, like the young teenagers are into these days. People really be leaving and fucking up jobs that are good to be something they ain't.
Add in a major crime problem in many neighborhoods, and it's safe to say Miami is not a great place for kids. Number 3. Flex culture. Miami is a green city, and I'm not talking about the environment, although they probably should be
Ganja,
one of those too.
herb.
More on that later. But yes, in Miami, it's all about the Benjamins. As long as you have money, you're
I thought they were
accepted
talking
into
about
the
weed.
crowd. And because of this, even people without money are obsessed with acting like they have tons of it, which leads to terrible financial decisions, such as spending their last few bucks just to be able to look rich with fancy clothes, watches, and cars, rather than actually saving and investing their money to become rich.
Could never be me. I own some expensive clothes. Like, for example, I have a backpack. I have some J's on me right now. But I will literally save for 3 months and then purchase one expensive item, and I still have a cushion to sit on. Because I never, ever, ever, I'm tight pretty much. I am tight. But I never let myself get below a level where I can't afford an emergency. Smart. Be like that and you'll be fine.
Maybe Miamians are just trying to make up for their fake personalities with real Gucci, because like I said earlier, this is a city full of superficial narcissists. Most men you meet will only talk about themselves or how much money they make, and since there's a ton of pressure on women to base
Just
their
in case you
value
thought
on
I
their
was lying,
appearance,
bitch.
many elect to get plastic surgery since it's the only way to keep
why that
up with
freeze?
the unrealistic beauty standards. And considering how expensive most plastic surgery is, it's no wonder that so many women here are gold diggers, which only makes it harder to find a serious relationship. But
Ah,
let's be
yeah. Fuck Miami. I can't stand women like that. Look, London. This is London. Every female.
honest, no one in Miami's really looking for one anyways. Number 2, low wages and a high cost of living.
I like
Even
me a
if the
low-key
people here
girl,
didn't blow their
humble.
paychecks on luxury fashion and
Just like
lip
me.
injections, many would probably still be struggling to get by. While Miami is cheaper than most big cities in this country, it's still really expensive compared to the rest of Florida, with a median home value of $397,000. And wages are much lower than they would be for the same job in other cities. The median household income is barely over 60 grand, which is the second lowest among the top 25 largest metropolitan areas. And
Wait, what? Did I say the average minimum wage is below 60 grand?
grand, which is the same job in other cities. The median household income is barely over 60 grand.
What do you mean barely over 60 grand? The average salary here in the UK is like £30,000. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck, man. And too much money involved.
Which is the second lowest among the top 25 largest metropolitan areas. And rents are extremely high due to a lack of rent control, which has resulted in a poverty rate of 23.4%. Most things
Where
in
are they
general,
spending their
from
money?
food to clothes to alcohol, are more
Right.
expensive too. But that's just the cost to live in paradise. Right? Now, before we get to number
That
1,
to me is
make
not
sure you leave
paradise.
a like and subscribe, and let me know
Paradise
which
to me is
city
a forest
you want
in
me
the-
to cover next.
is a
But
a
without
house in the
further
forest.
ado, number 1, it will soon cease to exist. While everything
What?
on this list may suck, all of Miami's problems may soon disappear, along with the rest of the city. Due to rising ocean levels, it's estimated that $23 billion worth of property could be submerged as soon as 2050, with sea levels rising another 5 to 6 feet by 2100.
Yo, if you're in Miami,
And
leave.
since Miami's average elevation is only 6 feet above sea level,
Go to
much of the
Minnesota or
city
something,
will
somewhere
no
far away,
longer exist.
up in the mountains.
That is, if the hurricanes and floods don't wipe it out first. You can expect them to
Minnesota.
cause a multi-day power outage at least once every couple years. But now it
Minnesota.
doesn't even take a storm to flood parts of the city, as king tide season, where the tides under a full or new moon can become so elevated that the ocean water filters through drains, flooding the streets, lasts from late fall to early winter, and really stinks. No, like,
Ugh.
it literally stinks, because the seawater mixes with sewage. Now, I honestly really love Miami, and I'm
Alright, that's the end of that video. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe, stay tuned for more. Leave down in the comments below or spam me on IG in my DMs. You can see the IG is right there. What you want me to react to next, and I will get that done for you. I've added to the list. There's like 200 videos there. I'll get to them soon. But, been your boy, yeah, Jord. Love yourself. Take care.